What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NFL Trading Room. Today we've got another fun breakdown for you. We are going to be breaking down Duke quarterback Darian Mensah. He's been a riser in this class. He's a guy that's really flown under the radar for most of the draft community. There were a couple guys that took a look at him in summer scouting and saw some talent there, but I've been really impressed with what I've seen from him so far to the point where I would be comfortable taking him in the latter half of the first round. Now, he is a redshirt sophomore, so he absolutely could go back to school, especially with how much he is making in NIL, even if he were to stay at Duke. But I think he's a really intriguing prospect, has all the tools that you would look for. Good arm, really athletic, um, pretty accurate down the field as well, and an improving processor. So, really excited to dive into this one, and let's get into the tape. Okay, so getting into play number one here for Darian Mensah against NC State. NC State is going to be in an 8-drop cover 3 look. So they're only going to have 3 men rushing, and they're going to have 8 in coverage. So you're going to have this deep third over here, deep half or deep middle right there, and deep third over there. Your 3-man rush is actually going to be a stunt look, so you're going to have this edge defender taking that edge. This D tackle is going to shoot in, and then this D tackle is going to wrap around. So that's your 3-man rush right there. Both of these linebackers right here in the middle end up mugging the front. That just means that they get on the line of scrimmage, and then they end up dropping out as well. You're going to have this corner playing that flat area right there. Once these linebackers drop out, they're just going to be in typical hook zones right there. And this defender over here is also playing a bit of a hook zone. Then you're going to have this player who's on the line of scrimmage dropping coverage. Like we said, it's an 8-man coverage, just playing that flat over there. But as far as the offensive scheme, on this backside, at about 15 yards, it's just going to be a curl route, really deep curl route right there. The running back is going to be kind of on an angle route. He doesn't cut it as sharply as most people do an angle route, but it's a very similar route. Tight end is going to be on a dig right there. And then on this stack alignment over here, where you've got one receiver on the line of scrimmage and then another directly behind him, that's what a stack alignment is. This front receiver is going to bend it outside at about 10 yards and run a curl. And then this stacked receiver is going to take an inside release and run a curl. So a lot of curls going on this play. But this stacked off receiver is who Darian Mensah goes with the football. This is part of what I like about Darian Mensah, just being able to decipher coverage in the quick game. It's very important for success at the next level, just staying ahead of the sticks. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. So there go those mugged up linebackers, and you see the 8 coverage drop right there. Mensah is able to decipher it and hit the inside curl right there at about 10 yards. It's less really of a curl and more of a, I don't know if he was supposed to maybe run a dig route on that, but that flat defender definitely got his hands on him. Could have been holding right there, but I don't think it was called holding on the defense. But just a good job by Darian Mensah. It's a nice job by that offensive line, too, even with 3-man rush, keeping Mensah clean. But just a good, solid throw by Darian Mensah. Love seeing a lot of the young guys that haven't maybe had the experience that some older quarterbacks have had do work in the quick game, just staying ahead of schedule, staying ahead of the chains. We'll watch the back angle really quickly as well. But just like seeing the simple stuff from these younger quarterbacks. All right, for play number 2 here from Darian Mensah. This time we're going to have a 4-man rush, but it is going to be a bit of a blitz look. So you're going to have a 3 down front right here. And you're going to get just an outside rush there, outside rush here, rush to the right from this tackle or from this D tackle here. And then this linebacker is going to delay and then shoot into that gap. It's a bit of a cover 3 look. It is loaded to the defense's right because, as you can see, the only eligible player on the right side of the football is the right tackle. You've got the running back to the left of the quarterback. You've got the tight end to the left of the quarterback, and then you've got 3 receivers to the left of the quarterback. So it still is a bit of a cover 3 coverage, but especially in the midfield hook zones, they do angle it towards this side of the field to account for that amount of skill position players on that side of the field. But getting into the rest of the coverage, like I said, it's cover 3. So you're going to have midfield there, deep third there, deep third here, flat over here, hook zones right here that kind of float to the defense's right, just accounting for the amount of bodies over here, and then this backside front defender just has a flat right there. Now getting into the offensive scheme here, really like this play from Duke. As you can see, there's like we talked about, there's all the skill position players to the left, and something to recognize as well is this player is not eligible on this play because he is covered up. He is not the end man on the line of scrimmage, and he's not lined up in the backfield. This is the end man on the line of scrimmage, so you've got this guy's eligible, he's eligible, he's eligible, he's eligible. He is technically also eligible because he's the end man on the line of scrimmage, but 8 is not eligible on this play. So Duke does an interesting job of scheming this, which I really like. What they end up doing is they end up taking their running back and running a fake swing route right there, and they end up bubbling this slot receiver like he's going to block for him, which is a nice design, kind of fools with the eyes of the secondary. But as far as the downfield route combination, Duke runs this combination a lot. You end up having essentially double posts. Draw that better. You essentially end up having double posts, one right there and one right there. And then they're going to take this offset tight end and run kind of a corner route. Gets a little deeper than that, but Darian Mensah ends up getting a one-on-one with his tight end, which is typically a productive matchup if you have a decent tight end. And that's where he does go with the football. Really nice process here by Mensah. Good play called by the Duke offensive coordinator. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. So there goes the swing route with the bubble, and there's the double post. And there you see the tight end running the corner route, gets a one-on-one against that outside corner. Really, it's the slot defender. But a nice size advantage there for the Duke tight end. Nice throw by Mensah, leaving it high to where only his player can get it. Nice job by the Duke tight end, high pointing the football. But you can see on that double post, that pulls not just the middle third, but the right side field from the defensive perspective, the right side third of the coverage over as well. That creates a bunch of space for that tight end to operate. Helps that the linebacker fell down, but still a good job by really everybody on the offense, from the coaching to play design, execution. We'll watch it from the back angle here as well. It's just a really nice throw, leaving it high where only your guy can get it. Quick break in the breakdown. If you guys wouldn't mind just to go down below, make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That would just let us know that you're enjoying breakdowns like this, and we'll continue to bring them to you throughout the rest of the draft season. And let's get back into the breakdown. All right, final play here for Darian Mensah. Again, NC State's going to be in cover 3. They run it quite a bit, but it is a 6-man rush. So they do play cover 3 principles on the back end, but it is interesting how they try to cover the middle of the field, although that's not where the ball is going here. So this outside corner, it looks a little bit like man on the outside pre-snap, but you can begin to tell by that safety's alignment, he's not exactly in line with the slot receiver. He's a little bit inside, so probably not man coverage. It is technically a too-high shell or too-high coverage, but this safety is about 4 yards in front, so it's probably not cover 2 either, unless they're disguising it well, which they definitely could. Teams do that decently often. But what Mensah ends up getting here is cover 3, like I mentioned. So you're going to have a deep third right there, The safety is going to rotate to the middle of the field, play his deep third. This corner is going to have his deep third. This safety down here is going to essentially be playing this flat right here. And then you're going to have a hook zone right here. So really no accounting for the backside flat, which is fine for NC State here. That's not where the ball is going. And we'll see that later this receiver motion's over. And there's really nothing from Duke going to the left side of the field on any type of route combination. But the blitz, like I talked about, they're stunting all over the place. So you're going to have an outside rush here. You're going to have an outside rush here. This D tackle is going to rush there. This D tackle clears out this center. And this linebacker shoots right in behind him. And then this linebacker takes a step and stunts off both of them and wraps around. Now, maybe the best part of this play is what this running back does right here. He steps up and he meets this linebacker right in the hole, and it's a perfect job by the running back in pass protection. But as far as the rest of the offense, like I mentioned, this receiver is going to come in motion across the formation, going to settle right about there, and he's going to run an out and up right there. And that's where Mensah goes with the football. But again, we see this from Duke once again. It's these double posts drawing away those defenders, creating space for these sideline routes to run. And then this tight end is just on a check and release stop route right there. But, I mean, like I mentioned, these double posts had consistently pulled away NC State's cover 3 thirds. So you had this middle player pulling away the middle third. You had this outside receiver pulling away the outside third. And that leaves this safety in a really tough spot. Now, he does get more open probably than he should have, but it is a tough spot as a defensive back to be in with no help over the top, and your assignment is essentially the flat, so you're not necessarily thinking that anything's going to be thrown over top of you, but it is here, and that's thanks to the scheming, thanks to the route by the receiver, thanks to the throw. But let's go ahead and roll the clip. There comes the motion right there. The rest of North Carolina State's defense doesn't really shift. It's just that outside corner that's shifting in. But look at that running back and pass protection. Bam! That's a really, really nice job by that offensive line and the running back picking up that six-man pressure right there. So shout out to them. You guys know I love offensive line play, so love seeing that. Now, that safety, while he kind of does have flat responsibilities, he is playing that rather deep. But that route still does come open over the top. Nice job by the receiver to catch that, stay in bounds, and score. But again, you see it with the double post, just taking away those defenders. That's just a really, really nice play design overall by Duke's offensive coordinator. Really good throw, right in stride, right over the defender, right in the bucket. We'll watch it from the back angle as well. And you'll get to see that running back in pass protection again. That's just teach tape right there from the running back. Just meeting the linebacker in the hole. Bam, right there. Really, really solid throw. Nice catch. And that does it for the Darian Mensah breakdown. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you wouldn't mind to go down below, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Again, that would just let us know that you're enjoying the content, and we'll continue to bring content like this to you. And we'll see you guys next time.